Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas. This is part 5. Today I'm going to be discussing Tiger's Wheel of Fortune slots. I still think about November 20th, 1998, when I saw the episode of Wheel of Fortune that was celebrating 3,000 episodes in syndication. I was 8.5 at the time, and, 8 years old. And I was introduced to a whole bunch of stuff that I never knew before about the show. Today, it still ranks up there as one of my favorite episodes of Wheel of Fortune ever. At the end, there was a bumper promoting Tiger's Wheel of Fortune slots games. And oh boy, did I want it. I remember seeing the promo of this one lady playing it, and she presses the red button to spin the wheel, and I was just like, amazed seeing how fast the wheel was spinning, all the colors blurring. I really wanted that. That's what made me really want it. So I went to the same place that I got my first Wheel of Fortune game 2 years earlier. And I remember I didn't know for sure whether or not it was Wheel of Fortune slots or not. And, I knew when I opened up my Wheel of Fortune game back in 1996, I was pretty certain that I knew what it was. But I never saw the packaging to Wheel of Fortune slots, so I didn't know whether or not it was going to be that game or not. But I remember opening it up, and I'm just give out this huge squeal of delight. I was so excited, very, very happy. So this was the unit that I got back in December of 1998. It has seen better days. You can see some of the black smudging on the screen. The max bet button no longer works, so I have to use the bet button. So let me discuss you the controls of the Wheel of Fortune game. You have 6 buttons, pardon me. You have the bet button, you have the on and off button, you have the sound button, actually 7 buttons. You have the reset button, you have the max bet button, you have the slot spin button. And then, of course, you have the button to spin the wheel. Now, it's basically like a lot of those electronic slot machine games, only it has the feature of the Wheel of Fortune wheel. So, as you can see, all the values are the same throughout all the variations here. But let me show you a shot of the prototype on the back of this. Let me get the... Now, if the layout looks very familiar to you, you probably have been playing a lot of International Game Technology's Wheel of Fortune slot machine games in an actual casino, because this is the layout with the addition of a Super Jackpot space. So before I go into how the Super Jackpot works, basically, let me just show you how everything does. You have the on and off button, turns the game on and off. You have the sound button, which can turn the sound on and off. Now you have the bet button. You can bet 1, 2, or 3 coins. When you make your decision, you press the slot spin button. It's shaped like a slot machine handle. It would have been nice if Tiger had this shape function like an actual handle. But if they were to do that, it wouldn't take long for the handle to break off. So they just made it a button, much to their credit. If they were thinking about it, it's like, you know what, I don't think it would be a good idea. So here's the payoff chart. Now, if you take a look, payoff chart, it all depends on how many coins you bet. So the max bet is 3 buttons. The max bet button is 3 coins. So this is what you get. Now, if you take a look, you'll see some icons that are not completely, Wheel of Fortune symbols, diamond symbols, 7 spin symbols. If you take a look at the bottom 2 rows, it doesn't have to be in that specific order. So if you take a look at the red payout line, here's the spin button, the bar button, and you can get 15 coins. Now, it doesn't have to be spin, bar, bar. It can be bar, spin, bar, or bar, bar, spin. And same thing with the one on the bottom. 2 spin icons, you get 6 coins, and 2 spins of the wheel, And that red line means it can be just anything else. But you certainly would like to get 3 spin icons, because not only do you get 15 coins, but you get 3 spins of the wheel add on to your score. Now, 3 Wheel of Fortune symbols, pardon me, on 3 coins get you the Super Jackpot. I managed to get the Super Jackpot through Wheel of Fortune symbols only once playing this thing. This is when I was playing this thing like there was no tomorrow. But you can also get the Super Jackpot by getting a spin icon. It's a much easier way to get this Super Jackpot. So let's turn the button on. So let's turn the game on. Let's give it a little.
Place your bets.
So I'm going to do the max bet. Now, if you get a non-winning combination, you lose the 3 coins, but it goes into the Super Jackpot.
Spin the wheel.
So I'm going to spin. Let's see if we can get some good here. $30. Oh boy.
Place your bets.
And yes, non-winning combinations. Now, winning combinations are not required to spin the wheel. So I lost $3, so it goes into the Super Jackpot. Same thing with a $1 or $2 bet. If you get a non-winning combination, that $1 or $2 goes into the Super Jackpot. Sorry, the light fixture is. Now, this one that I'm playing right now is something that I got in an antique store a few years ago. Oh man, $3. But it goes into the Super Jackpot. Oh, we got a spin.
Spin the wheel.
Telling me to spin the wheel. Let's see if we can get something good here. The same $30 space. Let's see if I can hit something better. Now this one I got last month. I really just got it for the package. It's basically the same thing as this, only it's packaged. So let's have a look at that. And then this one I got back in April of this year. If you look closely, the font is slight. If you take a look very closely, you'll notice that the font is just a bit different. All right, let's get it this time. It's much better, $100. Place
your bets.
Now, just so you know, one more thing. If you have any spin icons showing and you've yet to spin the wheel before turning the off button on, you're not going to be able to spin the wheel. You turn the game back on, the game is going to tell you to place your bets rather than spin. So I'm going to turn this game off. There we go. And once I turn everything off, everything is saved. There's like a little bit of a memory, but it requires the 4 AA batteries. If you replace the batteries, the game is basically going to, if you replace the batteries or hit the reset button, the game is going to reset. So just one thing to keep in mind of. So this certainly puts a lot of other electronic slot machine games to shame, because it has the excitement of the Wheel of Fortune wheel. And there's the packaging on the back. Red Super Jackpot wedge. I think the reason why Tiger changed the Super Jackpot wedge from black to red was because it resembled the bankrupt space maybe a little bit too much. So, and here's the diagram of the wheel. Let's zoom in just a little bit, see if we can get focus. And if you take a look at the space on the instruction booklet right by the Super Jackpot wedge, you'll notice the wedge clockwise to it is $25 when in fact it should be $125. So I'm going to make a maybe an illustration based off of that sometime, just for the heck of it. Here's the instructions. Here's the diagram of the wheel, and as you can see here, they fixed it. So the wheel uses so if you look very closely at the wheel layout, you'll see that, look very closely at the wheel label and compare it to the prototype layout, you'll notice that every value from the prototype is present on the 24 wedge wheel layout. This is a 23 wedge wheel layout, 24 wedge with the values switched around a little bit. And the only value that's present on the prototype layout that's not present on the final layout is, let's see if we can get it, $150. But still, it's a really nice slot machine game. It's a great game you can take with you on the go. So I hope apart from that, I hope everyone has themselves a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys tomorrow in part 6, where we will discuss what is quite arguably the best Wheel of Fortune game that Tiger Electronics has ever released.